It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. I want to thank you very much for keeping hip hop alive and giving us the ability to do what we do. I totally appreciate that.
No, I mean I've done radio, basically freestyle and house since '86. But I always tossed in your music and the Grandmaster Flash music, all the Sugarhill sequence. On top of that, I had that 12-inch lying around. And I was always a fan, and so whether I was doing freestyle or house music shows here, I would still toss that stuff in. And I remember I would go to camp in Wisconsin. We'd go on these big long hay rides, and I would spend the time, doing the entire 15-minute version of Rapper's Delight because they didn't believe I knew all the words.
You had to let them know that you hip and you know how it's going down, baby. Well, and that's for sure. Keeping old school hip hop alive.
Well,
Summertime is here. Get off this summer. Get off this summer. Summertime is here.
I hear ya, so have no fear. Summertime's the best time of the year. You fine young ladies, come ring my bell, cause I am the man with the clientele. Shipping, sipping the finest wines, all because it's summertime. Well, a big bang, and I'm in your dreams. Rocking the house with a gangster lean. Rocking in the pool, just having fun. Chilling out in the summer sun. Neon lights, summer nights. A big bang, baby doll's gonna rock tonight. So pull out your beach balls, umbrellas, and hats. To all the fine girls, take a turn that back. Take a chicken top, but it's too hot. And it's summertime and it's more your shot.
Hot summer day. Hot summer day. Hot summer day. Sunshine in your mind.
AM 1590 is WCGO Radio in Chicago, where Chicago goes for Celebrity Hotline Conversations on a Saturday morning. That is the Sugarhill Gang, Big Bang Hank, Wonder Mike, and Master G. It's something called Hot Summertime right here at 1590 AM. My name is Harv Roman. For the next hour, a classic conversation. It isn't all new Celebrity Hotline Conversation, but it is a classic conversation with Big Bang Hank of the Sugarhill Gang. That was almost a tongue twister, right? Big Bang Hank? You tried saying that 10 times fast. And they had to do like 15-minute versions of Rapper's Delight and not get their twang all tangled up. Well, it's an old school edition of Club Kids Radio, of Celebrity Hotline Conversation. And I don't like using the term old, so let's use the word classic. A classic conversation. It is new. It is unique. It is something that Chicago has not heard in a long time when you get a member of the Sugarhill Gang on the Celebrity Hotline. And then when we're through with the Celebrity Hotline Conversation with Big Bang Hank of the Sugarhill Gang, if we have time before the hour is over, Michael Kendall of Mikey O Productions is celebrating his 10th anniversary of putting together comedy events for you. And if we have time in this hour, we will go back to when Mikey was campaigning. Mikey for mayor, flan for the people. So we have time, we'll do that. But voice to the Celebrity Hotline we go. I am so excited. Thanks to ZZ and Tony Batoy and Joe Robinson for putting it all together. I had a great conversation with Big Bang Hank, a conversation that I will not soon forget. AM 1590 is WCGO Radio in Chicago, where Chicago goes for Celebrity Hotline Conversations, and we'll go to the Celebrity Hotline right now. Someone is on the Celebrity Hotline, and it's a pleasure to actually meet you. We met on the phone not that long ago, and now we get to do an interview with one of the members of the Sugarhill Gang. Big Bang Hank, how are you?
I'm doing fine, baby. How's the world out? How's the radio world doing out there? Everything's good.
The radio world is doing better than the real world right now. You're coming to Chicago at a really, really good time in terms of us needing some positive energy is what the Sugarhill Gang was all about, because if you've been watching the news, the NATO conference is here in the city, and downtown was a mess, and there were protesters, and everybody's mad at each other, and it's going to take a little bit of positivity that only you guys can bring to us on Friday at the Excalibur nightclub. So you're coming at a pretty good time.
Oh yeah, we've been doing this over 30 years. Hip hop is our love, our first love, probably our only love. Next to our wives and stuff like that. But we've been doing a long time, and we like extending that to our audiences. Our hip hop is about fun and having a good time. We've never been gangster rappers and things like that. We've never tried to be, and we've never tried to change our style for anybody. So we're always going to keep it positive. We're always going to keep it moving, and this is what we're going to bring to the people.
That is something I wanted to talk about, and we'll touch on it right now. You guys were the pioneers. You were the trendsetters. You were the ones that hit the microphone back then for 15 minutes on a single song that charted on Billboard, and that had never been done before. Even the disco songs of the day were 7, 8, 9 minutes. You guys did 15 minutes. And the words that had to get bleeped out back then wouldn't make anybody blush right now with the stuff that's coming out now. So can you tell us a little bit about the Sugarhill Gang and how you guys all got together, and how was it decided between you and Sylvia and Joe over at Sugarhill that we're just going to put out 15 minutes worth of stuff rather than cutting it down to 3 minutes and 30 seconds?
Well, you have to understand, first of all, Rapper's Delight really has no hook. We're what you call pure rappers. We can rap about anything. We don't have to rap about people's neighborhoods or things like that. And we can go on for hours. And we all came from individual groups. I came from a group called Casanova Fly in New York. Mike came from a group called Sound on Sound in New Jersey. And Master G came from a group called Phase 2. Now, I was probably one of the best rappers in New York City. And that's how Miss Rob found out about me. My friend of mine owned a pizza shop in Inglewood, New Jersey, and he was going to open up another one in Washington Township, so he asked me to come out there and help him with one of the stores. I just got out of college. I said, fine, I'll do it for a month, help you with the new store, get it going. And then Miss Robinson, who I didn't know at the time, had found out I was in Inglewood. I knew Mike through word of mouth about his group in Phase 2. And he used to come into the pizza shop and we used to battle each other back and forth. I didn't know Guy at the time, but he was part of, as I said, he was a part of a group called Phase 2. And Miss Robinson happened to come into the pizza. Her son had told her about me in the pizza shop. And Miss Robinson came into the store and she asked me, I want to use you to do a record. And I was like, excuse me? It was hilarious.
And this
but I'm saying, I went along with it. I said, okay, yeah, okay. And she said, well, I want you to rap for me. So I totally blew Miss Rob away and her son. Mike just happened to be coincidentally across the street in McDonald's. And Mike came to the store. So we do what we normally do. We battle each other. And we blew Miss Rob away.
Now, this is before Curtis Blow was put out on record. This was before Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five was put out on record, because they too were on the Sugarhill Gang. So you guys were getting put on record for rapping when the bottom line is nobody was doing it on record. You guys were all going from party to party, carrying your crate of records and your microphones and just having fun.
Exactly. It was it was God said. Miss Rob had already had the music, and there was nothing written down for Rapper's Delight. Everything was off the top of the head. And the only reason why the record was 15 minutes long is because the 24 track ran out.
So you guys could have went on for a half hour.
We would rap for half an hour.
And this explains some of the lyrics with the macaroni soggy and the peas are mushed and then Superman and Batman and all this stuff. You guys are just riffing and basically when the crowd decides it's over, then it's over?
Well, we just do it. We do it till the sun comes out. I mean, I made a punk out of Superman. Mike talked about his girl who couldn't boil water without instructions. And Guy was always a lover rapper, and we just kind of combined all these things and went up the top of the head and just went for our own.
This Friday, May the 25th, 2012, it is the old school reunion party. And you're looking at Sugarhill Gang, you're looking at TK representing freestyle and K7 with their style of music. You can let Lime, DJ for the house music, and Crystal Waters, which Crystal Waters would be the baby of the bunch, I guess, out of all of you. But your baby of the bunch, he's got to be in his 50s now.
said a hip hop, the hip it to the hip hop. You don't stop the rocker to the bang bang boogie. Say up jump the boogie to the rhythm of the boogie to beat. Now what you hear is not a test. I'm rapping to the beat, and me, the groove, and my friends are gonna try to move your feet. You see, I am Wonder Mike, and I like to say hello to the black, to the white, the red, and the brown, and the purple, and yellow. But first, I gotta bang, bang, the boogie to the boogie. Say up, jump the boogie to the bang, bang, boogie. Let's rock. You don't stop, rock the rhythm that'll make your body rock. Well, so far you've heard my voice, but I brought two friends along. And next on the mic is my man Hank. Come on, Hank, sing that song.
Check it out, I'm the CASN, the OVA, and the rest is FLY. You see, I go by the code of the doctor of the mix, and these reasons I'll tell you why. You see, I'm 6'1" and I'm tons of fun, and I dress to a T. You see, I got more clothes than Muhammad Ali, and I dress so viciously. I got bodyguards, I got two big guns that definitely ain't the whack. I got a Lincoln Continental and a sunroof Cadillac. So after school, I take a dip in the pool, which is really on the wall. I got a color TV so I can see the Knicks play basketball. Hear me talking about checkbook, that it costs more money than a sucker could ever spend. But I wouldn't give a sucker or a punk from the rock and not a dime till I made it again. Everybody go, hotel, motel, what you gonna do today? Is I'm gonna get a fly girl, gonna get some spring and drive off in a death OJ. Everybody go, hotel, motel, holiday inn. You see, if your girl starts acting up, then you take her friend. I'm Master G, my mellow is on you, so what you gonna do?
Well, it's on and on and on and on and on.
Well, these are the 40s. We're all getting ready, touching 50 and late 40s. I'm talking about late 40s. All touching 50, close to it, yeah? We all started at 17, 18, 19. Yeah?
You know, one of the issues that came up back then was when the bass line from Good Times was a part of your record. It was also part of the Grandmaster Flash on the Wheels of Steel, and there were settlements which ended up with other people getting so much more money, and you guys were the artists, and you guys were the writers, and you guys were producing this stuff. And it doesn't seem as if back then you guys got much more than the money you may have gotten doing shows. How did all that go about?
Well, you know, I wouldn't want to talk to you about on the radio, but it's the situations and what the situations are. You know, we had to live with those situations, and it is what it is. But we didn't know the business. We had not a clue about the business, well, and we just came in on a wish and a prayer, and. Who would know that the record would sell 18 million?
That many?
Yeah.
Well, that is something that anyone who's young and listening to this interview at 1590 AM has to know. If you're about to get into a business, there's a lot of things that occur. There's a lot of paperwork, and there's a lot of people that say a lot of things, and you really want to get yourself represented well if you want to get into the business of entertainment, because there's so many things that could go wrong. And unfortunately, you know, now the rap game is huge. Back then, you guys were just getting your feet wet.
You know, if we would have known what we known back then and had the record sales of what we've had, we've sold well over 30 million records, you know, and we've sold more than basically for most rock groups. And if we did that today, we'd be billionaires. Yeah?
And they were on Soul Train. I saw it on YouTube. You guys did 1981, I should say, Soul Train. Here I am, a senior in high school. There you are on Soul Train. You guys were the best dressed rappers. Compared to what everybody wears or doesn't wear now, you guys brought a sense of style to the game too.
Well, we were new, and you know there was no format for what we did. I mean, we went from literally playing in the parks to playing at sold out 28,000 people arenas, all in the same month. And the first show we played at, arena we played at, was the Omni in Atlanta. It was sold out, and we asked Mr. Robinson, well, what do we do? He says, I don't know what to tell you guys. Just make believe you're in the park and do what y'all guys do.
Is that the same stage show that we would expect at Excalibur on Friday night? You're just having a good time and you're rapping along, and there are going to be people in the audience that might just bring the 12-inch with them and then sing along for 15 minutes worth of Rappers Delight.
Well, see, we're what you call well-seasoned veterans, and you know, if We're coming there to totally entertain the people, and this is what we do. This is what real rappers do. MC means move the crowd, and this is what we do. And they're going to be as sweaty as we are, and we're on the stage, but we may bring them on the stage along with us. This is how we do it.
We're talking to Big Bang Hank of the Sugarhill Gang. They're in town Friday the 25th at the Excalibur for Tony Batoy's Old School Reunion. This is a blast for me to be able to talk to you because I was in high school in those days, and I'm not going to, stay away from the fact that I wore the outfits that were out there, and we played the music, and we did some DJing with a lot of. We used to mimic the scratching on some of the records that came out on Sugarhill. Tell me about some of the respect that you get from the people that are in the rap game now, because now a generation ago, LL Cool J had debuted on Def Jam. You're looking at the mid to late 80s, but the footsteps he was following was yours. I would imagine that when you guys are on tour and you're doing the shows that you're doing and a lot of these reunion shows, that the rappers have got to look at you as the legends who set the path.
We may be a couple of years older than they are, but we started younger than the majority of them. And, to be called a pioneer sometimes scares me because it sometimes, to me, it dictates age. But, it's a blessing to be able to be received by the people the way we are. And, we've played with some of the biggest groups on the planet, everyone from Aerosmith to ZZ Top, literally. So I'm just amazed, though, how far rap has transcended. People kept on saying that when we started, well, this is just a fad. It'll go away. But right now, hip-hop is bigger than everything on the planet.
It never went away because you have entire labels that were built around the rap sounds that you guys came out with. And every now and then when you think that things have slowed down, you'll pop in a movie soundtrack, and there you guys are. Apache has been in how many movies?
I lost count how many songs Apache's been. Rapper's Delight has been 7 movies. Some of the big Rapper's Delight has been some of the biggest sellers, like Wedding Singers and all these movies, like Kangaroo Jack, all these movies. Apache's been about 12 different movies, and it's just when you think of going away, well, Apache right now is almost as big as Rapper's Delight as far as sales.
So you guys are teenagers in the late 70s, and you're putting out this music. Had you any idea that 30-some years later, you'd be still headlining shows, still on stage, still playing music for the people that came up with you?
Now the system's on and the girls are there. You definitely have a rockin' affair, but let me tell you something. There's still one fact that to have a party, got to have a rap. So when the party's over, you're making it home and trying to sleep before the break of dawn. And while you're sleeping, you start to dream and think of how you danced on a disco scene. A name appears in your mind, yeah, a name you know that was right on time. It was phase 2, or just a doing a do, rocking you down, cause you know we could, to the rhythm of the beat that makes you free. Come alive, girls, get on your feet, to the rhythm of the beat, to the beat, to the double beat that makes you freak, to the rhythm of the beat that says you go on and on until the break of dawn. I got the man coming on right now, he's guaranteed to, no doubt. He goes by the name of Wonder Mike. Come on, Wonder Mike, do what you like. I say a can of beer that's sweeter than honey, like a millionaire that has no money, like a rainy day that is not wet, like a gambling fiend that does not bet, like Dracula without his fangs, like the boogie to the boogie without the boogie bang, like collard greens that don't taste good, like a tree that's not made out of wood, like going up and not coming down. It's just like a beat without the sound, no sound to the beat. You do the freak, everybody just rock and dance to the beat. Have you ever went over a friend's house to eat and the food just ain't no good? I mean, the macaroni soggy, the peas are mushed, and the chicken tastes like wood. So you try to play it off like you think you can by saying that you're full, and then your friend says, Mama, he just being polite, he ain't finished. Oh, that's bull. So your heart starts pumping and you think of a lie and you say that you already ate, and your friend says, man, there's plenty of food, so he piles some more on your plate. But while the sticky food's steaming, your mind starts to dream of the moment it's time to leave. And then you look at your plate and your chicken slowly rotting into something that looks like cheese. So you say, that's it, I got to leave this place. I don't care what these people think. I'm just sitting here making myself nauseous with this ugly food that stinks. So you bust out the door while it's still closed, still sick from the food you ate. And then you run to the store for quick relief from a bottle of KO Pectate. And then you call your friend 2 weeks later to see how he has been. And he says, I understand about the food, babe, but we're still friends. With a hip hop
the late 70s, and you're putting out this music. Had you any idea that 30-some years later, you'd be still headlining shows, still on stage, still playing music for the people that came up with you?
A big entertainer told me one time, he said, he kind of summed it up as this. He said, suppose I give you a lottery ticket, and I tell you tomorrow that's going to be winning numbers. You'll probably just thank me for those lottery tickets and say, thank you very much. And then when you wake up the next morning, you realize you just hit Powerball. That's how Rappers Delight was. We were unknown 1 minute and bigger than Aerosmith a week later. It was just totally amazing. Totally blew us away.
Well, you guys did everything from American Bandstand to Soul Train and all parts in between, so it is huge what you guys were able to do. Probably my favorite song, Apache's a good song, don't get me wrong, but when you guys did your showdown with the Furious Five, Grandmaster Flash had blown up with the message, and then all of a sudden you guys are doing the same type of battle that you were doing in some apartment somewhere. You put that on vinyl. Another gamble to put on vinyl, but you guys did it. It's like you guys did whatever you were doing, and let's just do it in the studio.
Well, Mr. Rob wanted to bring the street game to the mass public and do what we do best, and was big enough to bring what we did, what we do to the public, and the people wanted to hear it, so we did it. Yeah?
One of the things that you guys also did, you were cutting each other down and you were bragging about each other and you were making all kinds of rhymes that sometimes if you just look at it on paper, you're wondering where you guys are coming from. But the thing that's refreshing about your music, and it remains to this day, is that your music was clean. You didn't play dirty, you didn't curse things out. There was somebody by the name of Blowfly that came out with some horrendous material back in the day that was trying to capitalize on the rap game, but you guys always kept it clean. And these days, you don't always hear that with the rappers that are out there now.
Well, we kind of all agreed that if we couldn't say good things about the environment and the neighborhoods that we came from, that we wasn't going to do it at all. And so we lived by that whole ideal, and we said we were going to keep it that way. So it was all hip hop is all about being positive and moving the crowd, not so much where you're from, but it's where you at. And we wanted to keep it that way, and we've kept that motto, our entire career.
Tell me about the sense of pride that you have as I know you don't want us to call you pioneers or legends, but you guys put it out there, and if not for you, who knows if an Ice-T goes from rap to acting, if a LL Cool J goes from rap to acting, the list goes on and on. Heck, Eminem did his version of what you guys were doing in his movie. There's got to be a sense of pride in terms of what you guys brought to the game.
Well, we're still in amazement to what we brought to the game. I know, coming from the inner city like myself, I always thought the only record I would have would be probably a police record.
Oh, stop.
And to be able to be called a legend in something that's positive, it just blows me away. And to be mentioning the same names as Quincy, I mean, we people say we turn the course of music, and that's amazing just to be able to have great people say these things about us, and we're totally honored and flattered.
Talking about Quincy Jones, I'm now remembering the track, I think it was called The Dude, and there was a little rap to that too, and Quincy Jones was like a genuine producer that only touched what turned out to be gold, and when you listen to The Dude, if I remember the title track, that was his contribution to rap.
Oh yeah, it's amazing how rap went from a totally unknown form in the public's eye to its own category, its own legend. It's amazing. When we first started, Rappers Delight, before the Grammys had come up, Rappers Delight had already sold something like 9 million. Within it was selling 1 million a week, and we was at 9 million, and the Grammys came along, and we wasn't nominated. I think Kool and the Gang won it, and they only sold like maybe 2.5 million, but there was no category for us.
And then eventually they did end up with rap categories, but that came out, so many years after you guys had initially started. Even though you hadn't really, the group didn't really completely stop releasing music. You guys kept releasing music after the original albums.
Oh yeah, we know. After a while, we got tired. I mean, we've been on so many major tours. We was on tour with them Sync. We thought for a couple of months, ended up being on tour with them Sync for 2 years when they first came out. And it was amazing. It's just how our music has transcended through cultures and different people, and which it's. I mean, how do you put it in words that you started something that became so infectious, so admired by people, and these are some kids from inner city kids. Yeah.
Now we're talking about you as inner city kids with Wonder Mike and Master G as the Sugarhill Gang. Before we go, tell me about how some of the young people respond to meeting you, because I'm sure that you do a lot of the reunion shows, but I'm just as sure as if you're touring with some of the bigger bands, you're meeting people that are half your age and a third of your age, and you're impacting them as well.
I'll give an example. I was flying to I was doing Sinbad in Aruba, and I got on the plane, and Earth, Wind & Fire was on the plane, and I'd never met them in person. But as I got on the plane, I looked at him, Philip Bailey, and said, "Oh my God, you're Philip Bailey." And he looked at me and says, "How you doing, Hank?" And I was totally sure that he actually knew who I was. And this is a guy who I thought was a god, and he knew more about me than I knew about him.
Well, if they're students of music, and if they grew up spinning on cardboard, they were doing it to your music. You got to know that.
But the people who I used to always look at and see on TV and buy their albums, to know that they knew me.
Wow.
It totally blew me away. It was like, oh my God. I met Aerosmith, and they were like saying, as if I knew them, I grew up with them. That's how well they knew me.
My new Seville. My tribe went down in the Hall of Fame, cause I'm the one who shot Jesse James. Pound for pound, I will never break down. Big Bang. No sir, I don't mess around. Oh!
Blew me away. It was like, oh my God. I met Aerosmith, and they were like saying, as if I knew them, I grew up with them. That's how well they knew me.
Well, Aerosmith,
how well they embraced me.
Aerosmith, of course, did the compilation with Run DMC back in the day, and again, Run DMC came along a few years after what you did. So, we keep getting back to the same topic, that Sugarhill Gang just blazed a trail. And there are a lot more people that know who you are and respect what you do than you might be giving yourself credit for.
I found myself sitting down conversating with Elton John, Rolling Stones, ZZ Top, all these people who I used to listen to, ELP, all these people like that who knew me, who was listening to my music, and I was always in admiration of these people, and they just took me in as if I was just one of the group. I was like, wow.
Hey, when you did do Soul Train, that was huge. Don Cornelius starts here in Chicago, goes to LA, and becomes a huge syndicated hit. He was a legend back then, and you were on a stage that Diana Ross had been on and Stevie Wonder had been on. What was that like?
It was amazing. We did Soul Train 3 different times. And the first time I did it, I was like, Mr. Robinson told us, if you guys want to fly out and do Soul Train. As soon as he said that, we were like totally floored. Excuse me? He was like, what? And so we flew out to Los Angeles, and it was like, we looked at each other saying, guys, you know what we're getting ready to do? I mean, this is going to be hello to the world, you know?
And that's exactly what it was. And then, of course, afterwards, you know, you get the interview and you get to meet the man. And once you've met the man, that just legitimizes everything. There's no other feeling like it. I've never done it, but I watched on TV, and I'm like, wow, that's got to be an awesome thing to happen.
It was kind of cool because maybe about 6 months ago, I did Soul Train, the Hippest Trip in America, which was a documentary about the life and times of soul. Don Canut's Soul Train. It was an honor to be able to do that and to be able, and also to personally thank Don Canute for allowing us to grace the stage and invite the world to the hip hop world. And that was an honor all in itself.
So I would imagine that has got to be among the highlights of your career. It's an over 30-year career with the Sugarhill Gang. Can you talk about, before we go, the things that you'll remember? Let's say you retired tomorrow. What would you think about in terms of the highlights of your career?
To me, it's like being in the military. I mean, they paid us, first of all, to entertain people. Something we're getting paid for something we would have done for free, and that's amazing when people offer you all this money to entertain them, and you used to do this in the parks for free. But this has got to be the most beautifulest job in the world. So I'd be able to go out and to meet new people, to touch the hearts of new people, to be able to grace the stage with some of probably the most fantastic artists in the world, and you can't ask anything more than this.
And finally, you have influenced so many. And I can sit here and say who influenced you and the rest of the Sugarhill Gang, but what would you say if you actually, began a movement in the late 70s where you've ended up impacting a whole lot of other people? But if there were influential people in your world, who would you say they were?
Well, I was always a college kid. Music was the last thing I thought I'd ever go into. I played football in college and football in high school, and I always thought I'd probably stay in the play pro football, and I never thought music was going to be another outlet that I would be involved in. And I had a talent for which I didn't realize, and I kind of cultivated that talent. And for me to be able to go to a plateau along with the Sugarhill Gang to where we went to is a dream come true.
It is going to be a huge event Friday the 25th at the Excalibur nightclub downtown Chicago, Friday night. It's an old school reunion. I don't always like using the word old school. I'd rather use the word classic. But there are going to be people there that grew up with you. There are going to be people there that are going to come to you and they're going to tell you stories, and you're going to be busy the entire night.
We're about to bring the noise to the crowd. We're going to keep it hot. They're going to be as sweaty as us. So I suggest they bring comfortable clothes, shoes that don't hurt, and a beach towel to wipe off their faces and body, because it's going to be hot in Chicago, baby. It's going down. So be prepared.
Ladies and gentlemen,
classics.
There you go, the classic sounds. The classic sounds of the Sugarhill Gang with Big Bang Hank. I have had a blast talking with you. We can go on and on forever till the break of dawn, like one of your buddies said on a record one time.
No doubt. But it's going to be hot in Chicago. I know Chicago's ready, and we're about to bring the noise to them. We only got one love for Chicago, and it's all love, baby.
Hey, when you do this concert, obviously you probably are going to have to cut down on the entire version of Rapper's Delight, because you guys could put on an hour-long show with all your other songs, too. So what's the stage going to be like that night?
Well, first of all, they're probably going to have to put water on the stage before we hit it, because it's going to be smoking, baby. You know how we do when this is the real hip-hop world coming to Chicago. This is not some fly-by-night group. This is like Coca-Cola. Nothing beats a classic, baby. And we're going to drop it like it's hot and keep it that way.
You know what's funny is that you're going to have TKA, K7, you're going to have these other groups, and they're going to put everything down. And when you go on stage, Lime will be watching you, Crystal Waters will be watching you, TKA, K7 will be watching you. Legacy will be watching you. The Colitos, the dance group from Chicago 30 years ago, will be watching you. And I think that's what normally happens. Everybody's going to put everything down and look at the masters at work.
Oh, well, we enjoy listening to their music too, and it's a compliment that the groups that followed after us in the hip hop world was able to take that legacy and move on and make it as big as it is today. We did it just fun, not realizing how big it was going to be, and to be able to see the younger generation embrace you, and take that baton and keep moving with it. That's a blessing all itself, and that's what we enjoy.
One weekend after the big old NATO conference and everything that came with it comes to Chicago. The old school reunion party kicks off Memorial Day weekend at the Excalibur nightclub, and it is going to be a blast, and I hope to meet up with you guys and definitely watch you on stage, and it's going to be an experience that if you don't do it, you're going to regret it.
Oh yeah, well, like I said, Chicago, prepare yourself.
Thanks again, ladies and gentlemen. Big Bag Hank, Sugarhill Gang.
One love, man. One love.
Everybody just clap your hands. I'm fly girls, clap your hands. I'm fly guys, clap your hands.
Well, if you're feeling alright and you think you're on, somebody let me know.
Well, everybody in the place put a whistle in your face. Scream it out and say, yo, hit it.
You don't stop, or rock the rhythm that makes your finger pop. I said hip hop, and thanks a lot. Come on, everybody, give me what you got. I'm gonna tell you a little story about the Sugarhill Gang with the pound pound boogie and a big bang bang. And if you wanna rap to the Sugarhill beat, gotta rap in the key of R.A.P. Now that is over, I'm ready to jam. Want all you people to clap your hands. Tonight we're gonna scream and shout. We're gonna turn this mother sucker out. To all of you people that are ready to jam, scream it out and say, I am somebody. Now you know you're hot. See, I met this girl and I said to her, honey, if you wanna be my baby, you got to give me money. Turned around, didn't mean no harm. I knocked her out with my vicious charm. I said, no, baby, it's not like that. You see, I'm all about making that cold cash. Started driving around, started messing with her head. The next thing I know, she wanted to go to. But to turn me on, you got to be the best. Cause I'm the Master G, I don't take no mess. Like TNT, I'm dynamite. You see, I rock your body to the early light. And when you wake up in the morning, you'll see I'm gonna check it out, girl. You're all alone, cause you just been hit by the Capricorn King. I rocked you gentle, I rocked you mean, I rocked you in and I rocked you out. You made me scream, but I made you shout.
Jam, jam on. Remember that one? Man, it is so hard to fade out of these songs in order to put in the words of Big Bang Hank of the Sugarhill Gang this Saturday morning on the WCGO Celebrity Hotline Conversation. My name is Harv Roman. It is already 38 minutes after the hour, and it is supposed to be a classic conversation, of course, featuring Big Bang Hank of the Sugarhill Gang, who are in town this weekend. And then, because Mike Okendo of Mikey Productions is celebrating his 10th anniversary, I want to go back to when we had a conversation with Mikey in studio talking about his run for mayor, which wasn't exactly successful, but there was flan for the people. In the back of your head right now is the Eighth Wonder from the Sugarhill Gang. We also heard Apache from the Sugarhill Gang, and then we heard two different parts of Rapper's Delight, a song that is about 15 minutes long. That would have taken like the whole show. And at the top of the hour, Hot Summer Day, of course, also by the Sugarhill Gang. My thanks to Big Bag Hank of the Sugarhill Gang, also Joe Robinson and Zizi and Tony Batoy for helping put that together. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave your comments, click on the Facebook and let me know what you thought of that particular conversation. He said that he had about 10 minutes to talk. We wound up talking about a half hour, and then we talked a little while afterwards off the air. So, boy, what a cool conversation that was, and a thrill for me to get to meet, at least on the phone, and speak with somebody who I considered, an idol of mine growing up in high school. Way back in the olden days, like when dinosaurs were dancing and stuff, where like the Flintstones had like a bird and the beak would scratch into the concrete, and that would be the sounds of music. Wow. We got to get to our Mikey O stuff, right? When we be back. We be back with more Club Kids Radio.
Denzel Washington for the Boys and Girls Clubs.
In my hand, I'm holding a 2-inch by 3-inch piece of paper that has changed the lives of millions of young people. It's kept them off drugs, out of gangs, and in school. Now, what could be that powerful and still fit in the palm of my hand? A membership card from the Boys and Girls Clubs. Every day, another 300 kids will join clubs all across the country. That's 300 kids who will be picking up a membership card instead of a gun or a needle or a knife. You know, too many people feel like they can't make a difference, but I'm telling you this. Put this card in the hands of a child and you will change that child's life. Do that and you can change the world. It's up to all of us. Support a program that works. The Boys and Girls Clubs, the positive place for kids.
For more information and to find out how you can support the Boys and Girls Clubs, call 1-800-854-CLUB. That's 1-800-854-CLUB.
Wake up. Wake up dancing. Wake up dancing. Harv Roman's gonna make you dance. Wake up dancing. Wake up dancing. Wake up, Harv Roman's gonna make you dance.
That's me right here at 1590 AM, the live stream at 1590WCGO.com. And if you miss any of this as it happens on a Saturday morning between 6 and 7, then go to www.wakeupdancing.com, and that's where you'll get not only this podcast, but all other kinds of podcasts of past Club Kid Radio and Celebrity Conversations. And if you go to Ustream.com, look for WCYC Radio or look for what is it? Harv Roman's House of Freestyle Imas, and then you'll be able to hear some of the things that we've been doing on weekends between 6 and 8, which we don't do here at 1590 AM because we just can't. Over on the Facebook, clickety-clicking is Kyla and John, Miguel, Nadine, Teresa, Anasali, Lydia, Zizi, Tony, Natalie, Maritza, Edwin, Al, and Will, and several of you were at the Excalibur this past weekend. So if you want to give me a ring on my tingling thing, let me know how it went, and then maybe we could do the review and you can tell everybody what they missed out on, because I don't want to tell everybody. I don't want to give it my vantage point. I want you to give your vantage point. When we return, Michael Kendall, Mikey O, Mikey for Mayor, Flan for the People. He's celebrating his 10th anniversary of bringing comedy to Chicago, and so we're going to flash back to some of the things that he did. And as part of the classic school of programming that we're doing this morning, we're gonna kind of say our musical farewells to Donna Summer and Robin Gibb of the Bee Gees. It's been a rough time for musical icons in the disco era, and so we'll play our tribute. We're playing some of their music. So this would be Donna Summer. It's a bunch of hot stuff. And then Mikey O, Flan for the People. When we return, 1590 AM, WCGO, where Chicago goes for this stuff.
Good morning, Harv, and good morning, Club Kids Radio. How's everybody doing?
We're doing okay. You know, usually people look for slow news days to break important breaking news.
Yeah.
You know, big important things happen in government, and they'll put it in the Saturday newspaper. They'll talk about it on a Friday. You have selected not only Halloween.
Yeah, that's right.
But on a day that the Bears are not playing.
That's right. The Bears are not playing because we had a conversation with the NFL about me being here this morning, and I explained to them the importance of them not having a game today.
Now, have you extended the invitation for them to go to either El Teatro or Joe's since they weren't letting them in at Angels and Kings?
They're going to be stopping by Joe's as soon as they get back in town, and they'll be stopping by Joe's to check us out.
So there you go. It's an open invitation to the Chicago Bears who were not let in at that nightclub earlier this week. There's so much stuff happening in the news. I didn't know if you had an opening statement or something like, you know how they have their little press conferences and all the paparazzi pops out and they have big opening statements as they're announcing their candidacy for mayor of a big metropolitan area.
Well, Harv, I had my press conference at Mega Mall. The turnout was excellent. We had, all the major press was there. And then from there, we walked over to El Rinconcito Cubano on Fullerton, where we had the press conference there for the Spanish media. So, no, we're covering it well.
It is Chicago 2011 elections. Now, Tuesday, we take care of the business with the governor. We take care of a lot of state senator business.
That's right.
Congressman business. But the elections for mayor actually... I think the primaries are in February and then generals in April. Do I got it right?
No, well Alexis, you mean Mikey O for mayor?
Right.
Yeah, you call me Alexis.
No, elections.
Oh, elections. I thought I heard Alexis in there somewhere. Okay, because I thought you were talking about the tall,
he was
skinny
here
kid,
the other day.
The Greek kid that plays basketball.
No, that's little Alexi Castro.
Oh, Alexi Castro was here too.
He was here. He was in that very chair. Now, I don't know how you're going to follow in those tiny little footsteps.
You know what? You're absolutely right. What a great guy he is. But the elections are Tuesday. I mean, hopefully people are going to get out and vote. We have a problem. I don't know if anybody has caught on to this, but it seems that we have the same 20 people to vote to choose from on a regular basis. And that's why I decided to get in this race, Harv. I decided to get into this race because I want to make sure that people have more than one option for mayor. And I think I'm the best candidate for mayor right now. I really do. I know that the elections are in March or February of next year, but I think that as we move on to these elections on Tuesday, to help select the governor and help select the United States Senator and some other important seats, I'll be out there campaigning, letting people know I'm your guy for mayor, Mikey O for mayor.
Now, almost as soon as you announced your candidacy, because you've been talking about this for months now.
Yeah.
The current mayor decides, you know what, Mikey's in, I'm out of here.
Yeah, he told me,
the other day, Luis Gutierrez says, you know what, not only are there immigration issues, but Mikey O has thrown his hat in the ring.
Yeah.
And then when you threw your ring in the hat, the sheriff, Tom Dart, isn't running either.
Yeah, Tom Dart and I go way back. I spent a little time at one of his facilities, and his people remember me there. But Tom Dart is the sheriff, and he does an excellent job as being sheriff. I said, Tom, why don't you just stay there? I call him Tommy. Tommy, why don't you just stay, where you're at, and we'll make sure that we, help and support you along the way. And as far as Luis Gutierrez goes, Luis done an excellent job as congressman. We need him there. He's a strong advocate for the immigration issues. And we want to make sure. Same thing. We went bowling. I said, Louis, you're a terrible bowler, but you're a great congressman. Stay where you're at. So, as far as Mayor Daley goes, Mayor and I have a long history. He loves
to laugh.
He loves to laugh. The mayor has a great sense of humor, and the mayor has been good to Latinos. Okay, but and he's been good for the city. There have been some problems there, some things that affect all major cities, the economy and things like that. But for the most part, one of the most important things about the mayor is a huge fan, of flan. And that says a lot about a person. When you have a candidate in office who is a regular consumer of flan, let me just tell you something. That's as important as a candidate who is a Ivy League grad. Honestly.
Now, what about that flan platform? How has that worked out for you?
Well, flan for the people, baby. Flan for the people. That's what I'm talking about. Flan for the people. I mean, have you ever seen a person not happy after eating flan? Have you ever seen a person not work hard after eating flan? The next time you see some city workers and you kind of think they're dragging, give them a spoonful of flan. It's over.
If you're not quite aware of flan, it's a delicacy to the Puerto Rican culture, but it was also featured prominently in the movie Envy with Ben Stiller and Jack Black.
That is absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. I have to defend flan a lot because I have to represent for my French people. You know, flan is not a Puerto Rican item. It's not a Cuban item. It's not a Dominican item. It's flan actually originated in France and in Rome. Here's what a lot of people don't know. Flan is a huge dessert in Vietnam, in Japan. They just have different names for it. But flan it's a universal.
That's kind of depressing. We thought it was ours.
No. For a long time, I had this argument with somebody who then told me no, that just like the guayabera, it came from Puerto Rico. Actually, the guayabera came from the Philippines. And
next thing you know, you're going to be telling us that the jibarito is not even Puerto Rican.
No, the jibarito is not Puerto Rican. The jibarito actually was originated in Russia. Yeah, the Russians invented the jibarito.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
So food is very important as a bullet point.
Yeah.
In the Mikey O for mayor campaign.
Absolutely, you got to eat. You got to eat. Look at Rahm Emanuel is way too thin to be mayor. I already told him. Está flaco el pobre.
Well, there you go. We're trying to do a Bee Gees tribute because Robin Gibb is no longer with us, and the CD starts skipping all over the place. I got Mikey O from a conversation of less than a couple of years ago, and the music is skipping. CDs are not supposed to skip. This is what happens when you're on live, right? We'll try Jive talking, and then we'll go to some Mikey talking. Thinking on my feet, aren't I?
So he's going to have to, he's either going to have to start visiting Latino households a little more, or he's going to have to jump on the flan program. But flan for the people. When you, the other day I had some construction crews on my block, city workers, great guys, and it took them about 45 minutes to just sweep one small area prior to a digging. I went out there with a bowl of flan. Okay, by the time I went back out there, they had rebuilt the playground and repaved 4 blocks in each direction. That was one serving of flan.
Now, is this your own personal recipe, or are you taking what Mom used to do and remixing it somewhat?
My sister Lydia. My sister Lydia is an amazing flan maker.
Hey, let me ask you this. Talking about family, you've mounted a campaign. Everyone knows that when you're campaigning for any public office, it takes away from the personal life. If you're married, if you've got kids, and you do have an adult child, how are the people surrounding you reacting to the fact that you might be the next mayor of the city?
Well, one of the things is I've already decided. I've got a son. His name is Mikey. He's going to be 4, and I've got a beautiful daughter going to Lewis University. Her name is Jalissa. And
she's a world traveler.
Yeah, she's going to Lewis University. I wanted to send her somewhere far away. I tried to send her to Japan, but I couldn't work that out. But anyway, so I've already decided that if I become mayor, I'm going to put Mikey Jr. up for temporary adoption until I'm done with the run. But my children won't be affected by this. I look forward to, one of the things we're going to do with City Hall is we're going to turn the first floor of City Hall into a Chuck E. Cheese, so that when people come down to, a lot of people don't like going to City Hall. So what a better way to get people to come down to City Hall and handle their business than if you entertain the kids in the lobby. Nice Chuck E. Cheese right in the lobby with the band, except the band from Chuck E. Cheese, I want to do a salsa band too. So there'll be like a salsa Chuck E. and the regular Chuck E.
You can have inflatable furniture. You can have the games.
Oh yeah. I teach kids early about how to pay parking tickets, because I'm going to tell you something. Anybody's got an adult teen, that's your first experience with your teen child, is that they get a parking ticket. So we'll teach them we'll have like parking ticket games and city sticker games and didn't pay my water bill games, so that they can start to learn the process of government.
Now, we've got some common friends that are already in City Hall that are big fans of Mike E.O., big fans of Mike E.O. Productions, have been out to your events. I'm a Cook County commissioner who ran pretty much because, you were supporting them as well. Yeah. How are they reacting to the fact that you could wind up becoming their boss?
Well, they're looking forward to working with me. Ariel Ray Boris is a friend of mine. Danny Solis is a friend of mine. Great alderman, all these aldermen. And Eddie Reyes, the Cook County Commission, the 8th District. One thing about Eddie, I got to say right off the bat,
it's his birthday today, by the way.
It is his birthday. I sent my car over to get him.
I thought you were going to say condolences.
No. No, I sent my car over to get him. I'm going to take him out I like to drop a lot of money on my friends whenever. So we're going to Jimmy's Hot Dogs. Some Jimmy's Hot Dogs.
Can you do me a favor?
Yeah.
If you get elected, can you get them to allow me to ask for ketchup?
No, there's no ketchup at Jimmy's Hot Dogs ever. There's no ketchup at Jimmy's Hot Dogs.
But you can change that.
No, I can't. There's certain things that are just that are part of the institution here in Chicago that they cannot be changed. Jimmy's Hot Dogs, I can't change. No.
First time I went there, I literally did ask for ketchup. That's not a joke. I said ketchup only because that's how I had my hot dogs.
Yeah.
Guy looks at me. He has a gun on his waistband on top of that.
That's right.
And pointed to the sign, which I didn't see.
With the gun?
No. Just, how we say what's up with our chins?
Yeah.
Because his hands were busy.
Yeah.
I don't know. Want to know why? And they almost threw me out of there.
Wow.
I think along with flan, ketchup on hot dogs.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's a few other things too, Harv. We've got to bring back café con bustelo with a lot of crackers in it. We got to bring that back. We got to bring back Tang.
That's what Puerto Rico needs, more crackers.
Yeah, Tang. Yeah, Tang was the original crack. I don't know if anybody remember Tang, but Tang.
Well, I used to like the little lump at the bottom of the glass.
The lump was the best. Yeah, burgers on regular bread, we got to bring that back. There's a lot of things. Papa frita a mano, we got to bring that back.
Well, I see the lights going blinkety blink. So if you're on hold, don't go anywhere because you can't talk to Mike E.O. as he runs for mayor. It is 10:20, and we're wrapping up our first segment. When we come back, I want to talk about the other Alexi. Everybody knows about Alexi Janulius, who's running right now, but little Alexi Castro. I wonder how he figures into any of your youth initiatives.
Well, he's going to be a big part of what we're going to do. We're going to have, like I said, when we finally get it together, we're going to have some great programs to get kids into government. And I think that, like I said, that first step, the second floor of City Hall is going to be a skate park. The third floor of City Hall is going to be a daytime party for the young kids. At Cut School, have a daytime party. If they cut school, they shouldn't be cutting school, but if they do, we'll have a DJ there and everything.
That is Donna Summer music, Last Chance. That is from Thank God It's Friday, the late Donna Summer, who just recently passed away. And so we pay our condolences, our respects to Donna Summer. This is Harv Roman with another exciting edition of the WCGO Celebrity Hotline Conversation. Sitting ovation to Big Bank Hank of the Sugarhill Gang. Also to Mike E.O. or Michael Kendall of Mike E.O. Productions, celebrating 10 years of bringing you comedic and other theater things for the last 10 years or so. And they're celebrating this weekend, and I hope to be there as well to help Mikey celebrate his 10 years. My thanks to you, the listener, putting up with me, the DJ, and for clicking on the Facebook and whatnot. I do have to leave, but it's been a bunch of fun, and hopefully you had a nice little flashback with our classic conversations, which are actually one new and one classic. We'll finish off with Donna Summer, and then more programming right here at 1590 AM WCGO Radio, where Chicago goes for Club Kids Radio and Celebrity Hotline Conversations.